Hi, welcome to Top Shelf Nerds, the show for nerds by nerds about nerds. I am DJ, and with me today are Buck and our very special guest, Morally Grey. We have an interesting show for you today, so sit back and enjoy the show. So, where shall we start first, Buck?
Very good question.
Well, during the week, I noticed the PC Authority Awards online, which has some beautiful pieces of information happening there.
Oh, man.
For all those nerds that like the tech, the same as myself and the professor, it's one of the highlights to look out for. The Australian PC Awards presented by PC Tech, PC Power Play, and Hyper. So Gold Award Best Company is my favorite company, ASUS.
Oh,
Bit of
Sus.
a shameful plug there. I'm sorry. We're geeking out the other week, Gray, about I don't know if you've heard about it, the ASUS Tinkerboard.
Not the board. I've been looking at the recent bullshit that came out with the CPUs. Not the CPU, the GPU. That was it Nvidia that released that like scared the shit out of its competition. God damn it! I'm trying to think off the top of my head
That's
here because like I was talking with one of my friends about this last week. Last week. So
Okay.
I can't remember.
Well, just a little catch up then. The Tinkerboard is kind of like the Raspberry Pi, but about 100 times better. So it's a micro board, and all the stats and benchmarking are just ridiculously fantastic. So yeah,
I imagine they're probably selling it for a pretty penny though.
Only $100.
Wow, for a
in
board.
most places for a board.
That's
so
not that
it's
bad.
competitive pricing in regards to the Raspberry Pi. And when you look at the total capabilities of it, it's actually quite good. I'll send you a link later. We've got it up somewhere amongst all the podcast stuff. But best motherboard, ASUS.
This will make every game. This will make a lot of gamers happy.
Premium motherboard, the ASUS Strix.
Oh, dude, I love Strix. I have a Strix GPU. Swear by it. Holy shit. No, seriously. My God, dude.
The professor does as well. He loves them.
I have a 960 GTX Strix 8 gig, and this fucking thing is actually quite impressive. Its ability to cool itself, like most GPUs, you could argue that their backplate might not be as necessary as what others are, but this thing its cooling potential is insane. It's quite surprising. I'll be running everything. It never gets over about 50 degrees. It's quite incredible.
I first got involved with ASUS with the very first computer I built myself. The main board I had in it was an ASUS. And I actually had a special thing there where I could keep track of the temperature of the board because it was running an AMD chip with a CPU. And of course, the same as every other gamer and LAN nut out there, I had it overclocked in a massive way. And so, it actually had a little thing that I could have in the bottom right-hand corner for when I was going to be punishing it as hard as I could, and could actually keep track of the temperature of what was happening. So, unfortunately, the Strix doesn't appear to have been a finalist in the GPUs, though.
That
the
is
Gigabyte
surprising and also really
Aorus.
Sorry?
The Gigabyte Aorus came in first. The ASUS Dual Series GeForce set was one of the finalists. So, Best OEM Performance, Strix. So we'll have the link up there so everyone can have a bit of a read through for when you decide you want to build a new PC or upgrade what you've got. Yes, Western Digital. Sorry, I'm just geeking out here some of the stats.
I've been meaning to rebuild my rig. I've actually got all the parts to rebuild everything. It's just sitting on the table over there, and every time I say I'm going to do it, I just like turn the computer on and go back to whatever the fuck I was doing. I never like actually get around to doing it because I actually have a big problem. I'm restricted to one RAM slot because there's been like a big fuck up with whatever my dual channel RAM is doing. So I can only run one channel, unfortunately. It's clearly something wrong with the board. It works fine. Just put another RAM in there of any sort, even if it's designed to work together. It'll just blue screen. Well, not blue screen. It won't technically start. It won't get past BIOS beeps, which is really annoying.
Okay.
Mm.
There are some really, I think it's predictable though. Some of the award winners, like I'm looking at this. Yeah, some.
Well, I'm actually happy that Apple have made it as a finalist for some of the some of the categories, but they're not a winner in any of them.
That's not surprising. Apples are great if you're doing video and sound editing. Beyond that, get a Windows.
Nah, I wouldn't even then, because you got better programs that you can get.
True, but I mean,
and when you start looking at the computing power and the full ability of a full-blown IBM compat system running, well, you got the Intel i9 now has an 18-core chip CPU. So yeah, if that thing hums along the way it's supposed to, and you have a dual slot GPU and you have your RAM, which I was looking at a system earlier on the line about something. Someone built a system with 128 gig of RAM.
Oh.
So
that's a bit
I don't know why they need that amount of RAM, but I'm just thinking you're definitely never going to have any trouble with.
Maybe they're building a server farm. Who the fuck knows?
I don't know what it was. It was a gaming PC setup. He was set like, yeah, it was a guy I used to do LAN sessions with, and yeah, his systems are always insanely over. So, best OEM desktop PC, Asus Republica Gamers, way to represent.
You must really love Asus a lot.
Oh yeah, just the value for money. Them and MSI are the two main lines that I love the most, just because you get good value and performance for your money, and they're just constant and reliable. Whereas Dell, you pay a ton of cash and it's ugly, clunky. Not a fan.
I'm looking at the couple of best. They even got the best game award in there.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why it's like it's the award ceremony to try and catch hold of every year, because of the simple fact that it does cover pretty much everything to do about it.
Looking at some of the best monitors, best keyboards.
Yep.
Man, this Razer's got a couple awards, and Corsair as well.
Yeah. The thing I'm loving at the moment, the most with all of this though, is Asus is constantly up there. So with keyboards, gaming mouse, systems, components, they actually won the best monitor. They actually beat the new Samsung 49-inch.
49 fucking Christ.
What was
it's it? A 30. The Samsung 49-inch is a 32:9 ratio curved gaming monitor. So it's almost like two monitors side by side on one pedestal.
It's a fucking power supply in itself. Holy shit.
Yeah, just have to watch our language there, otherwise we'll break our PG rating.
Oh dear.
All right. Okay. So should we move on?
Yeah, if you're ready to move on.
Yeah. So in relation with PC stuff, recently news is out that Fortnite is now bigger than Minecraft on YouTube. So it has racked up 2.4 billion YouTube views in February, eclipsing Minecraft for the first time.
Yeah, but that's just the YouTube view. Who's actually playing the game? Minecraft has got a massive following in actual being played that'll probably smash Fortnite.
I don't know, like a lot. I think I agree with you there. Like Rooster Teeth, for example, with their achievement hunter and their Minecraft adventures, they're watched at huge number. It has a huge following. Fortnite, I agree with you there.
Because the thing with Minecraft is you got people from all ages playing it. So you got little kids like my nephew and nieces playing Minecraft at the age of 5 and 6, through to, I think I saw someone that on one of the YouTube videos once that was in their 70s or 80s. He was a retired engineer who was building absolutely insane landscapes and so forth in creative mode just because he was bored and he had nothing. So I mean, like, this guy was building maps that were like 3-dimensional portraits and of the Mona Lisa and stuff like that. I have to find him. He just had nothing else to do, so he played Minecraft.
But what makes Fortnite addictive? Like, why is it? I know Minecraft has the addictive part of you can build stuff and have fun. It's addictive about Fortnite. Fortnite's just PUBG. It's in essence.
Yeah, it's the battle royale thing. Everyone's really getting into that nowadays.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Never played it. Haven't really actually watched any of it either. But
All I've known from Fortnite is that news companies are all saying, "Oh, this is the very most addictive game. It might be harmful to your children." It's just usual. Use me going, think about the children.
yeah,
When
just a bunch of blowhards just loving the sound of their own voice, being painful and idiotic, and not actually basing it on any reality or research.
Yes, we
And
have
we-
seen a recent wave of that, haven't we?
Recent, mate, that
Another
thing,
wave.
that thing is as constant as tax
Yep.
and politicians'
is.
stupidity.
Yep.
And if we had a rant about that the other week, where we better just stop now because I will start going off.
it was a long and but yeah but with Fortnite, so Fortnite versus PUBG, like in mechanics themselves, they're the same, aren't they?
I haven't played the game, so as I said, so I can't really comment. I got a friend who plays PUBG. I don't know if he plays Fortnite, but he plays a number of different games. He's also developing graphic sort of stuff. So yeah, he's an insane gamer who loves playing games. Yeah.
I wonder how much Twitch views those two games, the Minecraft and Fortnite have.
You mean how many Twitch views?
Yeah, how many views?
We do this show in English.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, folks. He's supposed to have a degree from a university, but I keep telling him he should ask for a refund.
But like I said, Fortnite will this surpass PUBG in terms of?
I don't know.
It hasn't been invented yet. It'll happen though.
Will Domino's surpass, I don't know, McDonald's as the number one junk food of killing people in the planet? I don't know. You got any more ridiculous questions to ask?
Nah.
You sure?
No. Anyways, moving on. So you've posted this Buck. You loved it.
This is going back to when gaming was fun. This is something that people who are old school gamers and love the retro graphics will.
How old school are you talking?
I could really go really old school. But just going back to the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So not going way back to before the Commodore 64 and that. Chrono Trigger has released an update with graphics where you can play it on with the old school graphics from the Super Nintendo system. Been some glitches, but they're addressing it and slowly bringing patches in to fix all the issues. With the first one, I think is coming in next month or this month. First patch is due out first half of this month, apparently. So yeah, they're trying to make sure that they do it properly and allow people to play Chrono Trigger back in the old school style with the platform graphics and just the pure love. There should be a link there if you want to have a look at it there, Gray.
So what actually is Chrono Trigger? Because I've never played this. I never even heard of this particular game.
I played it a few times.
Or turn-based?
No, it's more of a RPG shooter platform.
Okay.
Yeah, it's you've got a spaceship that flies along and you shoot and other different things. It changes in different areas. But just the graphics and so forth, just that old school graphics of the clunkiness and
Okay.
it's a proper old school look to the game.
This was one of the really popular games back in the day.
It was. Although I do have to say, PC Gamer needs to get someone who actually knows how to spell. Reading their article, I was quite upset to find them trying to say that this put a damper is a bread. PC Gamer, damper is a bread. You mix flour, water, and salt and cook it. That is a damper. If you want to put a dampener on things, you need to put an EN. Fraser Brown, you're a moron. Sorry, folks. I'm I'm just in a grumpy mood with anyone who's going to be doing stupidity.
I've got plenty of it. If you like social justice stuff, mate, I got a lot for you.
No,
I
no.
didn't think
DJ
so.
tries bringing social justice stuff up with me all the time, and I destroy
I can-
him over that.
I
No,
can
no,
talk to you about Amnesty
no.
International.
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't mind the idea of what Amnesty International stands for.
Mm,
I just can't stand
you'll
most of the
hate
people
this
involved.
particular one.
Let's just not go there.
Let's not go there. So we just...
I put it this way: did you hear the cringe and running of DJ heading towards a bombshell? I start going nuclear when people start bringing up the social stuff.
Excellent.
Oh, no. I'm about 6'4", 6'5", and look like a brown bear.
Oh,
Don't poke
I have a heritage that is Anglo-Saxon, Nordic, and Irish background as well. So
Cool.
when I get angry, I tend to go silent. That's when it's bad.
well, that's good. That's good.
Ask DJ. He's suffering.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's just say I know I've been there and done it. I've been there and done
And he's not going back.
Oh no. Alright, shall we move on, guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
So this next one, it talks about so Mark Hamill has recently said he's absolutely okay with young Luke Skywalker being digitally recreated for future Star Wars movies.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably be getting paid a little bit for it anyway because he's image.
Yeah.
So of course he's not going to mind. He's making money out of it.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but it's just the whole like whatever happened to the replacing the character entirely. Like
this is
What?
Star Wars. You don't mess with Star Wars.
Yeah, you can. Sure, you can mess with it. You've seen 7 and 8. Pretty sure they did a number on it.
Oh,
Pretty sure I
they're
like the
messing with it.
prequels better.
Yeah, but still, they haven't changed. Like a lot of it's enjoyable and it's fitting
Is it?
in with the Star. Yes, it is.
You sure? All right.
I'm sure I enjoyed it, and yeah, like there's a lot of people who whinge. Most of those who are whinging are actually.
Oh, wow. I don't know, man. I stood on it on just a simple consistency path. It's poorly written.
I agree with the
And the fact that they have,
last few movies they've stuffed up a lot of
they have cannons fire arcing in space as if it's affected by gravity. That was a big one for me.
Well, there is gravitational forces affecting things in space.
Yeah, but it's operating like it's actually on a planetary body. They were firing basically high angle at that point. Like that was ridiculous.
But you got gravitational pull affecting out from planets, and depending on the size of the planet and other things like that.
Plus, their weapons are blasters. They're not actual physical weaponry.
Yeah, but
in Clone Wars they were physical weaponry, but
even still, light is affected by gravitational forces.
Yeah,
that's how they wear black holes. So
in this case, it's a little bit stupid. C-3PO's red arm, that wasn't in there as well for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they seem to forget that. It was like a big thing that he's like, hey, see my red arm in the 7th film, and then it's just gone in the 8th.
Well, he got it repaired. I'm sure he was around. Yeah.
But and military incompetence of both sides, but nevertheless.
Well, the military, and probably based on the American, the country that brought you friendly fire as a term.
Yeah.
They shot each other enough that they actually had to come up with a term for shooting themselves. Nobody else in the world is that good at killing their own people.
Oh, I don't know. The communists are pretty good at it.
No. That's just mass murder.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about soldiers on the front line fighting. Are that pathetic?
No, but even
with
then
the way
the communists
they
are still pretty good at it. Because, homicides.
No, that was that was the Russians in World War II with some of this. But I mean, like the Americans, it's not just with that. Like they had a ship's captain who had been given the time for bombarding for the landing in World War II for D-Day, and there was something changed, and so he was going to have to be put back. It was going to have to be put back half an hour or something, or move forward half an hour. I can't remember details. No, he wasn't changing because he hadn't been given the correct orders from the correct person with the correct code word. So he fired on the same time. He actually killed a lot of the people off of his own, off of the American that were actually attempting to.
Okay.
So you got a captain of a ship giving the orders of when to fire, and everyone else on the ship just okay, yeah, look, we've heard all the orders there, but he's not following it. We're following him. We're shooting our own people, even though we can see them.
Hmm.
So I'm
Oh,
sorry, but that is institutionalized stupidity.
Hmm.
but there also, but then I will say though, you know how you're saying don't mess with Star Wars. Well, I was reading a couple of articles that were saying
Don't you bring up the thing you was talking to me about the other day? I
that.
will reach through the internet and choke you out.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You
Okay, yeah, fair. You should.
nah, man. Even the person who you said was suggested to be involved said no, they don't want, and everyone else involved.
I know. Okay, I agree with you there. I agree with you. I won't touch it. I won't
Yeah.
touch it.
Anyone
But-
anyone who wants to find out what that is, I suppose we'll have to enlighten. There's apparently a group of morons who have started a petition to have somebody replace Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia.
Okay.
And apparently it's a growing force that's to be noticed because they're apparently, what was it you said they're up to, DJ? 10,600 people?
Yeah, 10,600. It's Do you want me to reveal the identity of the mystery person that was supposed to replace Carrie Fisher?
What? No, who they were asking to replace Carrie.
Yeah.
Not
Should
who
I?
was supposed to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Who they're asking?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Meryl Streep.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
What?
reaction was actually more violent than that. But even she has said no.
But you can't replace her. That's the inherent problem of having her survive the eighth film. She should have died. She
That's
should
the-
not have actually survived. That you can't replace Carrie Fisher.
That's the thing. They want to replace, like, some fan wrote a petition saying, "Yeah, we want to replace Carrie Fisher with Meryl Streep in the next Star Wars film." Like, how?
I vote we start a petition that the idiot who started the petition be sent for a psychosis.
Oh, like they were
So
basically.
I told you, DJ, like even Gray turned around and said, yeah, nah, look, nah. He was flabbergasted at the idea from the sounds of it when you.
What? Oh, you gonna say Gray?
I was just gonna bitch more about how you can't replace Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
I bitched at him for about an hour and a half when he first suggested it to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a
2 nights
dumb
ago.
on so many levels. I wish it wasn't such a train wreck. This is one of the moments where it's like, I wish I had a time machine, go back, just take those two, and just be like, look, cunt, whoops, you've screwed this up. You really screwed this up. Like, come on.
I think George Lucas is regretting selling it to Disney because since Disney involved, there's a lot of stupidity.
Yes, yeah. Clone Wars was good. Rebels was
Yeah, but that was actually still out of LucasArts. That his people were still running it. It wasn't Disney. Disney took over with number 7.
Okay.
And
all the fiascos with EA. Holy crap. They ruined bloody Battlefront as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, we've actually discussed them. This is what our podcast. We've discussed about loot box stupidity of EA in more
It's
than
not
half
even just
of them.
loot boxes. Like the very core concept of Battlefront has been removed. It's not Battlefront. It really isn't.
And it's not even Star Wars anymore. Really,
No,
either.
not really.
It's something else. They're trying to make it a mashup of Star Wars, Call of Duty, and a number of other games. They're failing.
Yeah. They're failing because the game doesn't have an identity, and the only identity that it's known for is extracting money from you in the most exploitative of ways.
Yeah, and that's just every game coming out EA at the moment. Well, most
yeah,
of the games.
pretty much.
But yeah, let's move on because we're getting to.
Alright, so the next topic. Oh, this is good actually. I like this discussion with the Star Wars fans. This is a good discussion. But the next topic is about how the directors for the new Avengers movie have now released an open statement about spoilers, saying, "Okay, guys, don't spoil this movie in the next coming months." They did it through Twitter.
Yeah, but
that makes sense.
They're also the sort of idiots that they go and do spoilers against other about movies themselves. They just don't want it done on theirs, but they're going to have publicity people who go and spoil other movies. So I'm sorry, but I'm giving you the Hawaiian good luck sign here.
But here's the thing, though. Like, it's gonna be spoiled eventually by someone. Like, they'll take a mobile phone on during premiere night and just tape it all on the phone and post it up on the torrents.
Oh, I'm going to post up the whole storyline as much as I can if I watch it, just because of the fact that it's Marvel and I want to make them look like fools. And they've actually said, please don't spoil it. You've already spoiled it yourself. You're Marvel. Bunch of rainbow-loving, unicorn-riding hippies.
There he goes with the Marvel bashing.
It's not Marvel bashing. I'm just pointing out a fact.
Well, okay, fair enough. There were some moments in Marvel where you go, "What have you done, Marvel? What have you done?"
Pretty much every time there's a new release. Apparently they killed off Bruce Banner, but now apparently he's being brought back to life. They keep messing with every character, going from one day to the next. Yeah, they've got more fluid identities in Marvel than you do in a gay march of pride.
Like, see, the problem with Marvel now is, it's just they're hippies and they're just trying to bring like the whole, oh yeah, we're trying to put in social justice in the comic book industry now, which is failing, and it's failing badly. Like with
there will be a comic skate. I mean the bullshit with the oh my god, I can't help it. It's who I am. The reality of all the child abuse sort of elements that's going on within the magic community is just terrifying. So yeah.
But then again, you've also got that going on with politicians, where there was a pedophile ring recently found somewhere involving politicians once again. Saw the news the other day. So you can't blame comics for that. It's like blaming computer games for violence. There's actually research that shows that computer games aren't the cause of violence.
No, but you can blame the companies for not taking action, which will directly affect the comics.
But then again, they're not. They're just as be more likely to get traction by blaming Playboy and corrupting the youth. Where was all of that back in the day before it existed and there was all this sexual deviance?
Information age changes things.
They just blame everything. Don't actually look at what the cause of the problem is.
I think it's just basically they're trying to avoid the whole personal responsibility.
And I think you just hit the nail on the head. They got to accept their own responsibility for their own actions and get up off there, start doing something.
Which they won't do.
Well, we know that, but yeah, bunch of morons.
But with Marvel, you're right. It has turned into land. I hope the movie industry doesn't go that way.
No, it is.
It is? Oh.
Well, you look at the number of movies coming out for Marvel compared to DC. DC's still the reigning champ on American graphic novel comic books, and the people that are their only competition aren't Marvel anymore. It's the other graphic novels that are doing, like groups that are doing like hack slash and so forth. That's the market. People want dark and gritty. They don't want rainbows and unicorns. Thor's an hour ago.
Oh man, imagine the next Thor movie.
We'll be coming out with pink bob cut and spandex and high heels. And I'm looking fabulous, so don't you mess up my hair.
Okay. So moving on from that topic. So Buck, you have this one, is the new Porsche.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I introduced the topic. I haven't got the car. I wish I did. This is actually looking marvelous. Tesla is going to be getting some serious competition. We have the new Porsche electric car. They've got a couple of them that are coming out. Production is expected to have cars actually being sold in the market next year. Just looking on Porsche's website at the new electric Mission E CUV, and they've also got a coupe sort of style 4-door where the rear doors open suicide style and 100% electric. The stats for it are it's apparently supposed to be able to get 500, 600 kilometers, and you can charge it in under half an hour or something. So yeah, and they're also looking at providing home solar power charging material So you can set it up on your house, whether it's on the garage door or whatever, so that you can actually charge your car for free.
I don't know, the concept of electric cars, it's still it's still on the trial phase. Like, people are still skeptical, like am I going to charge my car if I'm stuck in traffic, kind of thing.
No, because countries such as Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Germany, even France and Spain as well, they're actually, a lot of the shopping centres are actually providing electric only parking spaces where they have recharge points with solar power charging and so forth. They're embracing alternative energy.
I wish we were.
Well, unfortunately, we got too many politicians following the American system rather than representing that, being intelligent.
Yes, well, unfortunate, but well.
There's actually a couple of shopping centres in, I can't remember if it was Norway or Denmark. One of them, they've got shopping centres where they've got the, you go to a shopping centre, they've got the shade cells over the top of the parking.
Yep.
They've actually got those so that they're actually solar panels. So you got an entire car park where all the cover to go over the top of it is actually solar panel, and it provides electricity to run the for the shopping centre, charging electric cars, and also putting back into the grid. They've got road surfaces in Denmark that are actually solar panels that provide all the power for running the street lights and pumping back into the grid for areas around where highways and so forth are. And they're capable of having a truck drive on that. Do we have that here?
That's the thing that bugs me, like how all these European ideas are so good, and when we try it here, when we try it in other countries,
we're not
doesn't
trying
work.
it here. It would work here. It would work fabulously. It's just, the politicians are not embracing an alternative energy. They're too invested in coal and oil, rather than, hey, you know what, we could be running with alternative energy sources such as wind and solar. There's even tidal flow generators that you can
wave generation,
powering up the entire eastern seaboard, and it would be at basically no cost to the consumer. Like, if you want to charge them anything, it would only be like $1 a month to have access, and that is purely to generate enough money to replace parts and services required. And the efficiency of it on the tidal wave generation alone is more than enough to power the entire eastern seaboard of Australia, and we'll still have a surplus. We could sell electricity in New Zealand if we...
How about nuclear power, though?
No.
Dirty.
No.
There's plenty of clean alternative out there with tidal flow generation, wind and solar. Like, you don't need to go and mess with all these. Like, even India is smarter than we are. By law in India, if you are a supplier that is putting electricity into the grid, you have to be investing a certain percentage or something into alternative energy, whether it's wind or solar, whatever. So a percentage of your profits are to go to R&D in that field, and also into developing infrastructure around alternatives coal.
I think China is also following that similar.
Yeah, and India's got plastic road. They're recycling plastic to make road surface, and yet we're still using bitumen.
I wonder though how useful a plastic surface would be. I mean, I don't know, because how recyclable could it be in regards to bitumen? Because bitumen, you can just heat the bastard up. Oh my god, you can just heat it up and then recycle it quite easily.
Yeah, well, actually, no. Bitumen, it's heated up, it's laid. After it, that's it. It has to be crushed up, and it becomes it's a deadly byproduct afterwards. But oil and plastic, like a lot of plastic, are originally an oil derivative. There's others out there now that are used for food that aren't, but the chemical structures are still essentially the same. So yeah, plastic has got
because I'd be a little concerned
they
about...
talk about it having a half-life of hundreds of years or thousands of years. It's almost like nuclear waste.
It's just, I'd be a little bit concerned about plastic's ability to generate traction in the same way that bitumen does. Be a little bit concerned about that.
Well, yeah, I know I haven't looked into all the statistics of it, but I know that with plastic, you can have it so that it's got a rough surface exactly the same.
Also, the strength of the quality of the plastic as well to stand up to high traffic. Like for a highway, you're going to need something that's really quite, abrasion resistant, and I'm not sure if plastic would be appropriate for that.
Well, they're doing it in India, so we can look at how they're going. And if
Mm-hmm.
India's giving it a go, like they've got some horrendous roads there, but they're actually trying to move towards something that's more suitable for the future. Like they've got the Virgin Super Train program we were talking about in one of the podcasts the other week, where they're actually getting a super train as a maglev system that's being built to transport people quicker and more safely. They've made it so by law they have to embrace alternative energy. India's moving into the future. We're sitting here twiddling our thumb and falling behind and looking.
So is China as well.
China's moving forward in a massive way.
Like, especially away from coal, because they know what that does to their environment, so they're trying to get rid of that as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
So can our politicians please wake up and moving forward? So electric cars aren't a thing that's not being embraced. Alternative energy is the way we're going in the future. We've got to find an alternative to internal combustion engine for cars, because oil's running out. It's not an infinite supply. There's a finite amount and going to run out in the near future.
Well, yes. I don't know about the near future. We do have quite a significant amount of oil reserves lying around, but that's not like, I mean, yeah, you could argue it's a finite resource, which it is, but realistically, we should get off of it for a lot of other reasons than just its,
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's lots of other things to it, but just purely on an economical point of view, which is the only thing the politicians seem to listen to, it's going to run out.
Yeah. They listen to who pays them most of the time,
which unfortunately at the moment is a coal company.
I think it's all. I think that's why we're seeing like high oil prices. Just the inevitability that oil is going to run out. So yes, we have to pump up the prices and.
No, let's just find alternatives such as the electric car, like Porsche, Audi, Tesla.
Tesla by itself is already
BYD. And BYD or Audi's had electric cars going back over a decade now. And I mean, 100%. They had the e-tron, was a concept car that they released 15 years ago, and they've had that operating. Toyota's had purely electric cars been there. Transport and logistics have been using electric vehicles for decades with electric forklifts and electric carts. Just the rest of the world needs to catch up. Like the technology is there. The viability of it is only improving more and more as people start to go with it. And it's not a fly-by-night pipe dream that's just smoke and mirrors. It's like Porsche's releasing electric cars. Porsche, one of the oldest car companies around and one of the most respected, is stepping up the game.
I think hopefully more cars come running electric.
Oh, we will. We kind of have to. We don't really have a say in it.
I'm looking forward to Rolls-Royce, Bentley releasing electric cars. That's going to be the scary thing. Rolls-Royce and Bentley, we've got cars that run very quietly to start with, but when they're electric, dead quiet, and the amount of power that the engine produce, purely enough, the way that those guys operate, it's got the looks, but it's always got.
All right, move on.
No.
All right.
I don't want it. I want to stay here.
You want to stay?
All right, we'll move.
All right. Okay, so what we got now? Sword Art Online
releasing a season 3.
Oh, this.
Hey, just because you're a Suki La who just didn't enjoy it, nobody else. Apparently, there's enough people who do enjoy it that they've released a season 3.
I have my grievances on it. This series great in a sense. It brought VR into anime and made it good, really good. It just inspired like a lot of VR machines that we're seeing now, like the Oculus Rift and the Sony PlayStation.
Well, actually, no, a lot of those go back to like Lawnmower Man and so forth. And these aren't, and Sword Art Online isn't VR, it's AR. It's an alternate reality in when you look at it. to be honest, because you're not physically moving yourself around with stuff when you're doing it. It's purely your consciousness has been transported somewhere else.
I will say this though, season one, first half of season one, great. Second half of season one, not so great. And then season two, I've heard like a lot of people. I haven't seen it season two to be honest, but
Well, then you can't comment.
I know I can't comment, but I've heard people say like it.
Yeah, but then again, you've heard people comment. You start realizing how stupid you are to just rely on other people instead of getting up and going out and things out for you. Sorry, Gray. It's one of the arguments DJ and I. Oh, but the critics say this, and all these people are saying this. If you actually go look at your
you should really do your own research in that regard.
But that, yeah, I agree with you. Listening to, I think critics nowadays have it's a dying art. Would you say?
No. There's more and more of them popping up. The talent of being a good critic is a dying art, but with social media and everything, you got every man and his dog out there popping up. I am a critic on this. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the reality is that pompous windbag with their head shoved into an orifice. It's not supposed to fit into, but it does.
Well, I mean, it's so easy to be a critic this day that you don't actually need any skill. And with the information age, anyone can be. So it's a fair assessment to say that the character or the idea of a critic is dead, but criticism in general isn't by any means.
So you used to actually have to study to be a critic.
You used to have to study to be a journalist, but now you can just get a GoPro and you're sweet.
Yeah, well, let's not discuss that. I got friends at uni that are studying journalism.
Are they? Why?
Not sure exactly. Well, one of them I know, she wants to get into fashion and in the advertising side of fashion. So she's looking at fashion media. So she's actually going to journalism units.
Has she considered starting a YouTube?
I don't know. She's actually quite attractive. She probably could get away with that.
Probably.
She wants to actually make sure she actually an understanding of the details of what she's talking about, rather than just be another talking head that would be painful. So I got to you got to respect the fact that she actually wants to do things she achieve.
That's certainly true.
So, and then I've got others. I've got a project or two that I'm working on. I want to diss them all out too bad. Gotta wait until we get certain things happening.
But we saw that online. I think, I wonder how the critics.
Who cares? Go watch it yourself and make up your own mind. Don't let other people make your decisions for you. Be a person, not a sheeple.
So, should we do the shout outs, Buck?
Yeah, sad news this week. Deborah Carrington died. For those who are scratching their heads and going, Deborah Carrington, she is one of those actresses that we all know and love. Probably don't necessarily know her name though. She was the midget Thumbelina. I actually call her a midget, but she was Thumbelina in 1990's Total Recall, the little blonde prostitute character. She was also in Child's Play in the series. She was in Titanic. She even appeared in Star Wars: Return of the Jedi as an Ewok, and I think she's been around in so many different bits and pieces. She's just there, but unfortunately, she died on March 23 at the age of 58. So
sad man.
Well, we gotta pay respect to the people that have passed. Yeah, she's one of those ones.
Out of interest, going back slightly real quick, I'm just browsing through my Twitter, and Greenpeace has announced that South Australia has hit 50% renewable energy 8 years ahead of its plan, apparently.
Well done, South Australia.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nice.
They're always been accused of being a backward state, but they're out there in front. But they don't actually have much in the way of coal mines down there, do they?
Yeah, they're not in the Northern Territory.
Well, Queensland and Western Australia are the main coal mines. Northern Territory is nuclear.
Yeah,
uranium and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't Uluru? I think is it Uluru or somewhere else?
More of uranium.
Yeah, there's a dump. Is it?
Well, it's not Uluru. It's Arnhem Land. Uluru's the rock.
Yeah.
Arnhem Land is the massive wetland area where they want to mine uranium, but the indigenous communities are saying, no, hands off our land.
Yeah,
they've got some mining happening, but it's in a very controlled, which helps to raise the price of uranium.
Yeah, I heard they were going to do a dump site.
Oh, heck no. the mere suggestion would see a massive uprising.
It was either Arnhem or I think it was somewhere in Victoria. Those were the two choices for a dump site for nuclear waste.
Well, nobody really noticed in Victoria. Just so many people. Well, there's people leaving Victoria already anyway. Cause a bit of a. But Arnhem Land, no, it's a World Heritage listed area.
Yeah.
It is. You just can't do it. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It is a World Heritage listed area. It's a massive. Yeah, you got better luck at getting a politician to give you back money.
Moving on.
Happy birthday to 2001: A Space Odyssey.
50 year. It's now 50 years old. The movie that's famous for every Simpsons related spoof, like the Homer sleeping on the monolith. The intro music.
For which? The Simpsons?
The 2001, the Odyssey. Yeah, that I need to find that. But that was it. I need to find out.
It was the real name of the song is Also Sprach Zarathustra, composed in 1896 by Richard Strauss.
See, that's the one. See, that movie alone is responsible for that song.
Well, no. The song was epic before that, but the opening scene with the monkeys or the cavemen coming in time with the timpanis and so forth has become a cult icon in a massive. And it's also, it gave us HAL, the artificial intelligent computer you had to be careful of because it was corrupted and it was killing you off.
That was a scary Kubrick.
I've actually got a copy of it. I've got it on DVD. I've watched. It's one of those ones I sit there, put the TV on, have all the curtains closed over so it's on dark, jam the doors closed with something so nobody interrupts me.
Would you say this is one of Kubrick's best works?
Kubrick has got so many great movies. He's like Del Toro. He's had so many great pieces. He doesn't allow other people to dictate how he's supposed to do things and what he's going to achieve. He does it, and other people go, damn, and they start to copy. He's a trendsetter, the same as Del Toro with the dark science fiction / horror, like he's done with Pan's Labyrinth, The Shape of Water are the best examples of that. With he's starting up an almost completely different genre.
Oh yeah, that. And recently made a deal with Fox Searchlight about making a deal for making genres in that studio. So he's gonna have a lot of fun with that studio.
Studio's a big empty.
But with Kubrick, yeah, I agree with you. Kubrick has, him and Del Toro together, they're mastered.
Oh yeah.
Well, I will say this, like, besides 2001, what was your other favorite Kubrick?
Are you asking me or Greg?
Both.
I don't have any. I don't know. I don't even know apart from that he's done. So, yeah.
Well, there is Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I have to.
Really
it wasn't. He did well with it, but that's just one of those I get uncomfortable watching. Which I have to give him. He's achieved what he wanted. He wanted to make that people were uncomfortable. When you look through his filmography, like he's got some of the biggest movies of all time. It's like A Clockwork Orange, The Shining, Eyes Wide Shut, Full Metal Jacket, Doctor Strangelove, Lolita. He almost went to jail over that. Barry Lyndon. It's a movie not a lot of people will have seen, but it's actually worth a watch. Spartacus, which TV every night. And when I say Spartacus, I mean this is the original 1960 version with Kirk Douglas.
Yeah.
When he actually had color in his hair, and it was in full melodramatic detail.
Nice.
Like the list goes on. Like his full filmography, amazing. He actually even did a movie. He did artificial intelligence. So yeah, going from back in the 50s through to 2000 or later. 2001's the last movie I can see that he's apparently made on the list.
Yeah. He was the producer and writer for that movie, director. Spielberg was the director.
Yeah, but even Spielberg sitting back and paying attention to what Kubrick is saying, and Spielberg's one of the great directors as well. Here's a movie that we got to give him credit for, The Flying Padre, which is actually an Australian thing. I'm not sure if Flying Padre is a thing where ministers fly around in the outback Australia to remote stations and so forth to see people and say how you're going and minister to them. And I think it was in Africa they had one point as well. But yeah, he actually made a movie in 1951, a black and white short film, The Flying Padre. So,
right. For me though, it's getting a bit late. I'm starving, so I'm
Okay.
gonna go make some food and whatnot.
All right, see you, Gray. Nice
Cool.
talking to you.
Yeah, no, it's good being here.
Cool.
I'm hungry. See you guys.
See ya. Take care.
and we've got one final shout out before the end of the show. Coming up in the next, just make sure I get the date here. So Nicholas Winton was born on the 19th of May in 1909. Now, Sir Nicholas Winton, for those who don't realise who he is, was actually a English diplomat and banker that during World War II helped rescue 669 children from Czechoslovakia when it was under the Czech area, when it was under Nazi occupation, and was surprised in a BBC special. He died at the age of 106 in 2015, and he's got his biography available. There was a BBC TV program, and he's in the TV special. He was sitting there not really knowing why, and then they started saying about what was happening and started talking about what he did, but without actually saying who he was. And then they had the lady that was sitting next to him, the children he rescued, and she was sitting there beside him. Yeah, she was almost bursting out of her skin with excitement and happiness of being able to give him a hug. And very humble man who has had a profound effect on people just by doing the right thing to other people. Yeah, his birthday is coming up, so I figured it's worthy of a shout out, hello, and a remembrance. Something positive to think about in it.
He's the unsung hero that.
Well, he's not an unsung hero. He's he's had a TV show made about him, like a little program. He's got his book. I'd love to see a movie made about him, showing what he went through. He's not as massive a thing as what Schindler was with Schindler's List, but 669 children during the 9 months before the war broke out in 1990. He got them out, and they managed to get to England and be housed with families and live happy lives. He started a thing called the Kindertrans. So
I'm blown away by it already. Like he's got a lot of honors named after him. He's got a lot of honors after him. Member of the
he's a member of the Order of the British Empire.
Yep.
He was knighted by the Queen, so he is Sir Nicholas. There was a.
He received the pride of.
Sorry, you were saying? The Czech High Honours thing. Yeah.
He's also got the Pride of Britain Award. He was nominated. The Czech government nominated him 2000 Nobel Peace Prize. He should have won.
He would have liked it, but I'm guessing he wasn't doing it for that reason. Like, yeah, I'm looking on his website at the moment, and there's a photo here: memorial, 107 roses, 27 children with second and third gen. So yeah, he died at 107. His daughter was actually the author of his biography. So yeah, that would have been a great time for him as a father-daughter moment. But yeah, like I was looking at this, and yeah, the stats between him and Schindler, like Schindler is the only Nazi buried on Mount Zion, and almost half the population, I think it is, of Israel is alive because of Schindler. This guy saved 661 children and before war broke out. So even before the war started, he got in and tried to help these kids get out of trouble. A great man, worthy of a moment. And yeah, that's all we've got this week, I think, isn't it?
And on that note, that's the show for today. You can visit us at That's Not Camp Production or leave a comment there and buy some cool Nerds Amalgam merchandise. Or you can follow us on our Nerds Amalgam Facebook to like, post. Thank you for listening. See you then.
See you next time.